Hi, my name is Thilagavathi Murugesan. I am a lecturer of mathematics at CSU Pueblo. My lecture today is on solving linear equations. So you are going to see how to solve linear equations. I'm going to give you a couple of examples. Example number 1, solve the linear equation 7x plus 9 is equal to 5x. So here you are going to solve this equation. So you are going to solve for what variable? Here the variable is x. So we are going to solve for x. We need x alone on one side and the constants on the other side. So what do we have to do? We have to subtract 5x both sides. Subtract 5x. So this side is 0. Here we have 7x minus 5x is 2x plus 9. And we are solving for x. So here we subtract 9 both sides. So 2x is equal to negative 9. And now we have 2x is equal to negative 9. Divide both sides by 2. So you get x is equal to 2x divided by 2 is x. X is equal to negative 9 halves. So this is the solution for this linear equation. And you can always check whether you got the correct solution by putting this value, plugging this value back in the main equation to see both sides are equal to each other. Then you can know that this is the correct solution. So this is how you solve a linear equation like this. And then example number 2, solve 6 minus x is equal to 2x plus 9. Here again you are solving this linear equation. So that means you are going to solve for x. Here the variable is x and you have to bring all of the x terms together, all of the constant terms together, and then you are going to solve. So let's do that. So here we have a 6 minus x and here we have 2x plus 9. It would be easier if we move this x to the other side. So let us add x so that these two will get cancelled out. So I am going to add x both sides first. So here we have 3x plus 9. Here we have 6. We are solving for x. So subtract 9 both sides. We get x alone on one side and the constant on the other side. So this is negative 3. So when you divide both sides by 3, right, 3x is equal to negative 3. To get x alone, we have to divide both sides by 3. So x is equal to, here we have 3 over 3 is 1. So 1x is equal to negative 3 over 3 is negative 1. So the solution for this problem is negative 1. So x is equal to negative 1 is the answer. You can write as like a set of the solution. Just here we have only one solution because it's a linear equation. And here the solution is negative 1. We can write it as in the set notation, set of the solution, negative 1. So next problem, next is example 3. Here the question is solve 1/3 x is equal to 2 minus 2/3 x. Here again this is an equation with a variable x, and here the question is solve this linear equation. So we need to solve for the variable x, and you are going to combine all of the x terms together and the constant term together on the other side. So first because here we have like a 1/3 x a rational number here times x. So what we can do, first let's write this in this form. So this is 1/3 x is same as x over 3, see 1 times x over 3, 2 minus, here we have 2x over 3. So if you don't have a denominator, make sure you put a 1 there, because here we are going to take the common denominator. The common denominator for this side, and here we have only one term. The denominator is 3 here. So look at all of these numbers in the denominator and see what is the common denominator. So here we have 3 and here we have 3. So let's make this as 3. To make it as a denominator 3, what do we have to do? Multiply and divide by 3 here. See, 1 times 3, we have 3 here, we have 3 here, we have 3 here. So we don't need to do anything else. So I'm trying to get rid of the denominator first, and then I'm going to combine all of the x terms together and constant terms together. So here we have, this is 6 over 3 minus 2x over 3. Here we have x over 3. So once you made the denominator as the same, that's the common denominator. So we can combine these two terms together. So this is 6 minus 2x over 3 is equal to x over 3. So let me write it here. X over 3 is equal to 6 minus 2x over 3. So now multiply both sides by 3 to get rid of this 3. So I'm multiplying this side by 3, this side by 3. So 3 over 3 will become 1, 3 over 3 will become 1. So this side is x is equal to 6 minus 2x. Now we can combine all of the x's together. So add 2x both sides. So x plus 2x is 3x. 3x is equal to 6. We are solving for x. So divide both sides by 3. You get x is equal to 2. So x is equal to 2. So your answer to this problem is x is equal to 2. So set of solution 2. So we can do this problem in 2 different ways. I showed you by making the denominator same first and then get an equation like this without the denominator, and then you can solve. Otherwise, what you can do, you can add 2/3 x both sides, and you have the constant, and 1/3 x plus 2/3 x. Then you get, here the denominator is the same, so that is going to be 3x over 3 is equal to negative 2. Let's see, positive 2. So x is equal to 2. So in that way also you can do, but this is a method you should know, because you are going to see a couple of other problems where we are doing the same way, like making the denominator as the same on both sides, and then we are going to solve linear equations. So that's why I did in this way. So let me show you the other way also, in case if you want to do it in the other way, that's fine for these type of problems. So what you do, this is a linear equation in x. X is the variable, and I'm going to combine all of the x's together. So let's add 2/3 x both sides. Okay, so now here we have these two cancels out. So here we have 2. So 1/3 x plus 2/3 x. So here we have, what is this? This is a x over 3 plus 2x over 3 is equal to 2. So now the denominator, already we have like here is 3, here is 3. So the common denominator for this one is 3. So x plus 2x. X plus 2x is 3x. 3x over 3 is equal to 2. So 3x over 3 cancels out. So x is equal to 2. You get the same answer. Does not matter what way you do, as long as you do it correct, you get the correct answer. And you can always check by plugging this value back in the place of x to see whether you got the correct answer, correct solution. Let's see. What was problem number 3? Example 4. Here we have the equation 2x over x plus 3 is equal to negative 6 over x plus 3 minus 2. Here again the question is solve this equation. So whenever you have problems like this, what you do, because here we have two terms here, put it in parenthesis. Then you will not make any mistakes. So here we have the denominator, here we have x plus 3, here we have x plus 3. This is one term, this is one term. Here we have another term. Here we do not have a denominator, put a 1 there. Okay, because again, the same way we did before, we are going to make a common denominator, and then we are going to solve this problem. So before even you start that, because we have in the previous problem, what did we have in the denominator? Just a number, right? Just a 3 here. But here, look at this one. This one we have x plus 3. This is an algebraic expression in x. We have an x also. So what we have to say, the first step is, you have to say that the denominator cannot be 0. Because when the denominator is 0, it's going to be undefined, right? So we have to say x plus 3 cannot be 0. That means x can't be negative 3. So you can always do this way also. Set it equal to 0 and solve for x and say that x can't be negative 3. You have to write this first as the first step, because sometimes if you end up a solution like after you solve, and then you get x is equal to some value. If you get x is equal to negative 3 after you solve, then you have to say no solution. If you get other values, then those are the solutions for this problem. So here we have to say x can't be negative 3. Otherwise, if an x is negative 3, this will be undefined. Okay, so next step. So I'm going to make the common denominator. So here we have x plus 3. Look at the denominators. Here we have x plus 3. Here we have 1. This is just like a number. So if you have like a 5 here, 1 here, what would be the common denominator? 5. So the same way here, x plus 3 is the denominator here. 1 is the denominator here. The common denominator is x plus 3 times 1. So that's going to be x plus 3. So here we already have x plus 3. We don't need to do anything there. Only here we have to do something. What do we have to do? We have to multiply and divide by x plus 3. The same way we did before. I showed you the other method. So multiply and divide by x plus 3. This is just to remember, this is just a number. X plus 3 is just a real number. So now we have, let me write one more step. So we just made the denominators the same. Now we can write as a one step here. So the common denominator is x plus 3. So the numerator is, here we have negative 6, here the numerator is negative 2. Do you see why we put the parenthesis here? If you don't have a parenthesis, you will forget to multiply by this negative 2. So here we have a negative 2 times x plus 3. So now we have to simplify. Let me write it on the other side. So this side we have 2x over x plus 3 is equal to, the other side we have negative 6 minus 2 times x plus 3 all over x plus 3. Now we have to simplify the numerator. So this is negative 6 minus 2x. See, distribute this. Negative 2x. Negative 2 times positive 3, negative 6. You have to be very careful here. So we are distributing negative 2. So negative 2 times x, negative 2x, negative 2 times positive 3, negative 6, all over x plus 3. So what are we trying to do? We are trying to solve for x. So we are going to simplify this. So negative 6 minus 6, negative 12 and minus 2x. So let me write this first, negative 2x minus 12 all over x plus 3. And this side we have 2x over x plus 3. Now you see, now we have the denominator here we have x plus 3, there we have x plus 3, just one term here, just one, here we have just one term. Now we can eliminate the denominators by multiplying both sides by x plus 3. So you get 2x is equal to negative 2x minus 12, and I'm going to keep this right here. So this is what we have there, right? So this is just a number. Remember, if you have like a 7 here, if you have a 7 here, what do we do? We multiply both sides by 7. To get rid of that 7, we just equate the numerator. So 2x is equal to, so this is just multiplying by x plus 3. These two cancels out. You have to do the same thing on both sides. When you multiply by a number on one side, you have to multiply the same by the same number on the other side. So now we have 2x is equal to negative 2x minus 12. Now we have to combine all of the x's together. So add 2x both sides. Here it cancels out. So here we have 2x plus 2x is 4x. 4x is equal to negative 12. We are solving for x. Divide both sides by 4. X is equal to negative 3. See, don't say immediately this is the solution. We have to go back and go to the first step and see what we said there. So we said in that step, we said x is not equal to negative 3. So x can't be negative 3 for that equation. But here we got x is equal to negative 3. So what would be your answer? No solution. No solution for this equation. Okay. So this is how you solve this type of problems when you have algebraic expressions in the denominator. So you have to remember the first step, and then you have to know how to take the common denominator. And once you made the denominators the same, simplify the numerator like this here, and then just equate the numerator and solve for x, and then go back to the first step and see what x can't be equal to, and then you write your answer. If, for example, if you got like x is equal to 3, positive 3 or positive 2, then you say those are the solutions. In this case, we got x is equal to negative 3, but x can't be negative 3, so our answer is no solution. So I'm going to do one more problem. So you have to try a lot of problems to do your quizzes and exams well. You have to practice online homework and also a couple of problems from your textbook. And if you have questions, you can always ask me. You have to stop by my office, or you can bring your questions to class. So next example, example 5, solve. Four over x minus 2 is equal to negative 3 over x plus 5. See, sometimes in the textbook or online, you may not see the parenthesis. So make sure you put the parenthesis and then it will be easier for you. You won't make any mistakes. So 7 over x plus 5 times x minus 2. So this is the problem. So here again solve, you are going to solve for x. And the first step is what? The first step is you have to look at the denominators, and here we don't have just two numbers, right? We have algebraic expressions like x minus 2, x plus 5 times x minus 2. So we have to say the denominator cannot be 0. So here x minus 2 can't be 0. So x can't be 2. So if you don't see immediately, like I said before, you can always do this. See, set this to 0, x is 2. So when x is 2, it will become 0. So we have to say x can't be 2. Come on. Are there any other numbers you see? For x, the denominator will become 0. So here again x plus 5. So when you set this to 0, subtract 5 both sides, so you get x is equal to negative 5. So x can't be negative 5. So x can't be 2, x can't be negative 5. Just to remember that, because you are going to come back to this step again after the last step you finish for this problem, and then you have to come back here and see for what values x can't be equal to, and then you have to answer appropriately. So now here we have the denominator here is x minus 2. Here you see x plus 5. Here we have x plus 5 times x minus 2. So what would be the common denominator? So the common denominator is x plus 5 times x minus 2. So if you have a 3 here, if you have a 5 here, if you have a 3 times 5 here, what would be the common denominator? 15. So the same way. So just to remember, look at these ones as just numbers. So here we have x minus 2. So the common denominator is x plus 5 times x minus 2. So now here we have to make the denominator as x minus 2 times x plus 5. So we have to multiply and divide by x plus 5. You can't just multiply the denominator. You will alter the problem. So we have to be very careful. So what we have to do, 4 over x minus 2 is here. So I'm going to multiply by, we have to make all of the denominators as the same. So x plus 5, multiply and divide by that, x plus 5. So you see the denominator here, we got x plus 5 times x minus 2. And then here we have negative 3 over x plus 5. What do we need? Because the common denominator is x plus 5 times x minus 2, we need x minus 2. Multiply and divide by x minus 2. Here, do we have to do anything here? Multiply and divide by any expression here? No, because we already have x plus 5 times x minus 2. We don't need to do anything here. So now I'm going to write, this is 4 times x plus 5. So let me write this here. See, multiply across. Whenever you multiply rational expressions, multiply across. Here again, I'm doing the same. This times this over this times this. Okay. So now you see, everywhere it's the same. Even we can write here. If you have a 3 here, if you have a 3 here, addition, what do? The common denominator is 5 times x minus 2. So now I'm going to combine these two together. The common denominator is x plus 5 times x minus 2. Just like I said, it's like just like a number. If you have a 7 here, the common denominator is 7. So this plus that. So negative 3 times x minus 2 plus 7. So this side we have 4 times x plus 5 over x plus 5 times x minus 2. So now you see both sides, the denominator is the same. You can multiply both sides by that the same, eliminate and equate the numerators. So here we have x plus 5 times x minus 2. You have to multiply both sides by the same number. Remember that. You cannot do with the other one side one number and the other side other number. So we multiplied by this side and doing the same this side. And we can cancel x plus 5 and x minus 2 times x minus 2, x plus 5 times x minus 2. And only when it is a product, and also only when it's a product we can cancel the terms. That one also you have to remember. Okay, so here we have now 4 times x plus 5 is equal to negative 3 times x minus 2 plus 7. Correct? Now we have to distribute this. So this is 4 times x is 4x. Remember to distribute here also that 4. So 4 times 5 plus 20. So here we have to distribute negative 3. So negative 3 times x, negative 3x. Negative 3 times negative 2, positive 6 plus 7. So now we are solving for x. So we are going to combine all of the x terms together. So this is add 3x both sides to get x alone. Correct? So 7x plus 20 is equal to 6 plus 7, 13. So now we have subtract 20 both sides, correct? So you get 7x is equal to negative 7. Now we have to divide both sides by 7 to get x alone. So x is equal to negative 7 over 7, negative 1. And what do we have to do? Don't say immediately, like, don't write immediately this. After you get the value for x, go back to the problem and see what here we have. So here we have this, right? X can't be 2, x can't be negative 5. What did we get here? X is equal to negative 1. So x is equal to negative 1 can be a solution, and that is the solution for this problem. So negative 1 is the solution to this problem. I think now you know how to solve all different types of linear equations.